You won't believe the rumors circulating on social media and tech-filled blogs about what's allegedly happening on the set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. A shocking altercation may have just rocked the cast, and if even half of what's being rumored is true, we're looking at one of the most explosive moments in according to franchise history. Mena got into a heated argument with Mendeecees Harris while filming a new scene for the upcoming season. The altercation reportedly went beyond words and ended in a full-fledged slap that was captured on camera, leaving the cast and crew in disbelief. We're not saying that this actually happened, but several behind-the-scenes sources are chanting the same scandalous tune, and if even a small portion of it makes sense, guess who was there when it all happened? Yandy Smith Harris, Mendeecees' wife, according to insiders, wasted no time in demanding Erica's immediate removal from the show. Let's get into this mess. According to reports, the scene started like any other informal shoot for the upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, with the cast gathering at a private lounge in Midtown for what was supposed to be a straightforward reality TV chaos. What actually happened? Why did Erica allegedly snap? And how is Yandy handling the blowback? The scene, which was intended to be a casual catch-up dinner, had a laid-back atmosphere with candles on the tables, soft music playing in the background, and producers giving last-minute instructions through earpieces. However, sources who were present during the shoot claim that tension was subtly increasing behind the camera, began to fall apart as soon as Mena arrived. She wore a red silk jumpsuit, putting her signature confidence on full display. Her energy was off from the beginning, according to some crew members, who also claimed that she was running late. She also reportedly irritated the other cast members when she arrived. When she arrived, Yandy Smith Harris and Mendeecees were already seated at the long dining table, and it was immediately apparent that something wasn't right. According to reports, the producers were unaware of what was going to happen and were expecting the usual reality TV spice typical shade. Perhaps a snide remark or two, but instead they received was a storm. It started quietly. According to several sources, Eric made a sarcastic remark about how some people simply can't keep their men off social media. Yandy, who was always composed, grinned tightly and responded, "Some of us don't need to monitor our men because we trust them." Mendeecees, who was sitting 2 seats away from Erica, looked down at his plate. Erica reportedly rolled her eyes and chuckled a little before muttering something about how trust doesn't mean your man isn't still creeping. This was when Yandy's energy at the table abruptly changed, lifted her head and inquired, "You got something to say or you just want to throw hints?" The easygoing atmosphere was shattered, and Erica leaned forward. Her voice was low, but an on-set witness claimed that it sliced through the room like a dagger. She allegedly said, "I'm just saying if he's got nothing to say." Gasps. Producers thought it was just normal planned tension when he eventually spoke, gazing directly at her and saying, "You're reaching, and you know it." That's when things went south. Hide, why he messaging women after midnight? The camera crew reportedly continued to film, but even they were unprepared for what came next. According to several sources, Erica took out her phone, waved it slightly, and asked, "Am I?" because she had receipts. The table reportedly fell silent, and although she didn't show anything at the time, the possibility of evidence was apparently. Yandy's attitude went from calm to frigid in an instant. "What receipts?" Yandy inquired calmly but firmly. "If you really want to know, you can ask your man about those DMs from back in February." Erica laughed and shrugged. She turned at Mendeecees and questioned, "Is there something you forgot to tell me?" Mendeecees was taken aback and said, "I don't know what she's talking about. She's clearly making things up for attention." However, Erica wasn't supporting her. Flip that only occurs when something strikes a nerve. Down, and she leaned closer once more, allegedly saying, in a tone that was both mocking and deadly serious, "So now I'm a liar. All right, cool. Just keep in mind that I tried to be quiet." That was the trigger point, according to insiders. Mendeecees got up at this point, but he didn't yell or approach her, stood pointing at Erica and said, "Stop trying to destroy people's homes, you've already burned through yours." Another gasp was heard as a production worker whispered, "Cut," but the cameras continued to roll. Erica then stood up, and the energy was evident. The table was between them, but the emotional witnesses report that fire had already crossed the line when Erica yelled, "Don't ever talk about my family, you don't get to judge me when you out here acting like you single." Mendeecees responded with what appeared to be sarcasm, and then, in an instant, Erica moved around the table. Producers attempted to stop her, but before anyone could respond, Erica allegedly slapped Mendeecees across the face with an open palm. According to one witness, the sound reverberated like thunder in the room, causing a stunned silence that seemed to stop time. Yandy reportedly leaped to his feet immediately and screamed, "Are you serious?" Producers flooded the scene as security raced in and someone yelled, "Camera down," as a cameraman stumbled during the tumult and didn't respond. Instead, he moved back in shock. Her hands were shaking, and her voice cracked. Hand to his cheek. Eyes fixed on Erica in shock, breathing heavily, and she yelled, "Don't act like you're innocent, you've been disrespecting her behind closed doors." Her voice broke, and some claim her eyes were filled with tears, while others claim it was pure rage. When two producers attempted to hold her, she pushed past them. "You're done. You're not coming back after this," she shouted, slapping Erica in the face. Witnesses reported that her remarks were crystal clear. "You always think you're in control. Guess what? This ain't your show," Erica added, laughing icily. According to reports, that line infuriated Yandy, but before the shoot was stopped in its tracks, the set was secured, and security escorted Erica out while she was still shouting over her shoulder. The truth always comes out. A senior producer intervened and physically separated the two. Several cast members who had been off camera at first ran into the room, some of whom attempted to calm Erica, while others pulled Yandy back. Producers did not confirm or deny the incident, but one anonymous crew member told an industry blog, "I've seen what should have been a peaceful catch-up dinner turn into the most shocking scene Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has ever seen. Protect your husband if you want, but don't protect his lies. I never seen something like that in my 10 seasons of employment." With the network allegedly reviewing the purported tape, there are now circulating rumors about when the slap air and final edit will occur, whether Erica will be formally removed from the season, and what this means for Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship going forward. The rest of the cast stood frozen, unable to fully process what had just happened. Mendeecees, still visibly shaken, sat back down in silence as Yandy paced near the monitors. Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. This season is about to go from drama to demolition. Erica was escorted off set, her voice still echoing down the hallway. Producers huddled off camera discussing whether the shoot should go ahead or be shut down completely, and crew members stood awkwardly around the edges waiting for direction. She was clearly furious and muttering under her breath. The whole atmosphere had changed from staged reality drama to something raw and completely unscripted. It was heard that the assistant director said, "This footage is gold, but it's also a legal nightmare." After filming her solo confessional in the adjacent suite, Rashidita had finally returned to the table. Her heels clicked loudly on the floor. As she approached the commotion, as soon as she saw the look on, she could tell by Yandy's expression that something catastrophic had occurred. "What happened?" she asked, approaching cautiously. Yandy turned to her hands, still trembling slightly. "She hit him, Rashidita." Erica slapped Mendeecees out of nowhere, in front of everyone. Rashidita's jaw dropped, weight smacked the camera. Mendeecees sat with a blank expression, digesting his fingers quietly drumming against the table, but he didn't say anything. Yandy nodded, her voice low but intense, "And she had the audacity to discuss Demis as if she knew something I didn't like. She had receipts." But not until Rashida approached him and put a soft hand on his shoulder, asking, "Are you okay?" He nodded slowly when she asked. "I didn't think she'd take it that far," she said, spiraling out of control. It didn't take long for the entire situation to start leaking. Even prior to word had already started to circulate through insider blogs and cast group conversations after the cameras were officially switched off. One anonymous crew member reportedly messaged a well-known blogger with the following: "You won't believe what just happened on set, Erica. Mena slapped Mendeecees. Chaos, straight up chaos." By then, the following morning, strange posts were all over social media. One fan page posted, "Something went down between Erica and Mendeecees. Yandy is heated, and it's bigger than we think, insiders say." In a matter of hours, #LHATL became popular, and fans who were in dire need of answers began to leave comments. However, she remained largely silent online, posting no pictures or stories, only a single, subtly worded note on her close friend's story: "The mask always slips eventually." The wording was white on a black background. As soon as she confirmed the fight, fans started to wonder if she was referring to Erica or if shine contrast. Erica took a totally different tack when discussing Mendeecees. Erica. Later that day, she went live while standing in her kitchen with a cup of coffee and her hair in a messy bun. She addressed the rumors without naming anyone specifically, because people prefer to act innocent until the cameras are rolling and then pretend to be victims. But the truth, though Erica didn't mention names, the implication was obvious, and that only increased fans' desire to watch the behind-the-scenes, MTV, and production footage. The truth doesn't need a script. Thousands joined the live stream in a matter of minutes, and comments flooded the chat. Are you talking about Yandy? Did you really slap him? What receipts did you get? According to insiders, the company was in a panic, the legal team had been called in, and there were disagreements over how to proceed. One executive allegedly wanted to remove the entire video, claiming it might be lawsuit material. Another executive, however, saw the opportunity for huge ratings and contended that the scene should air with some edits. According to people close to her, Yandy was furious not only at Erica but also at the alleged messages. She claimed to have told a fellow cast member over the phone that same evening that they had set her up for drama and that she felt betrayed and blindsided. At the production, the tension reached a boiling point, and they wanted to act shocked when it blew up in their faces. Mendeecees stayed off social media, but his silence only fueled rumors. Fans started looking up old rumors past headlines and even old screenshots that might or might not have been real. According to leaked information, the cast was supposed to reassemble for a mandatory mediation meeting 3 days after the incident. There would be no cameras or press present, only production, legal, and key cast. And the meeting was tense from the moment Yandy and Erica entered the room. Yandy, who was wearing a simple black blazer and sunglasses, reportedly refused to even win. The mediator asked if anyone wanted to start. Yandy was the first to say, "I don't care what needs to happen." Her voice was calm but cold, but after what she said, Erica reportedly sat back in her chair and rolled her eyes. "You think you're the boss of this," Yandy wrote. "Girl, please, this isn't the Yandy network," she said. The mediator attempted to defuse the situation by asking for a compromise, but Yandy was adamant that it was either her or me. She replied, "It ain't, but I won't share space with someone who puts hands on my husband. I don't play about mine, stays, I walk," and by the end of the meeting, no definitive decision had been made. Erica reportedly left early, slamming the door on her way out. But Yandy remained and had a private conversation with one of the executive producers. Although no formal statement was issued, there were rumors that MTV was thinking of suspending Erica for at least facts were split over at least 2 episodes that were pending review of the footage and legal input. Some backed Yandy, saying she was right to demand accountability, while others backed Erica, saying she revealed something no one else dared to say. Still others wanted the drama and the mess, and they slapped the footage back at the main production. In the meantime, a number of cast members who had been present at the scene started to provide ambiguous responses. Rashida tweeted, "Man, I thought I'd seen everything." Hub editors were already cutting scenes, according to sources, and they were told to prepare 2 versions of the episode, one with the fight and one without. This would all depend on what legal decided in the upcoming days. "Truth always hits different when it's loud," wrote Jessica White, who shared a black and white selfie. Yandy stayed silent during all of this, with no interviews or lives. While fans began to piece together what might or might not have been real, no comments until a fan wrote, "Stay strong, sis. We know you're dealing with snakes," in response to one of her older posts. And to everyone's surprise, Yandy replied with just one word: "Watch." Fans went crazy once she confirmed that the sequence would air in that one response. No one knew for sure, but everyone knew that the drama was far from over. The word "watch" kept reverberating across social media platforms, smothering the rumors into a full-fledged wildfire. Was she planning to speak her truth, or was she just warning viewers that what they were about to witness would change everything? Within a few hours, fan pages were analyzing her response, looking through old footage, interview transcripts, and reliving every exchange between Erica, Mena, and Mendeecees they could find. Everyone wanted the truth, or at least their version of it, but fans felt that the comment had caused more harm than any press release could have. Or perhaps more provocation. Disputed theories behind closed doors, production meetings became tense, and it was reported that half of MTV's legal team was pushing to postpone the episode until after more review, while others contended that removing the slap would actually make matters worse. Because people already knew too much, and cutting someone allegedly stated, "We're not hiding a slap, we're deciding how to show it," which would only serve to corroborate guilt. Mendeecees, who had remained largely silent, ultimately consented to talk with Yandy. after she allegedly sent an email demanding complete openness and wanting to see the original film unedited. The entire course of the story was altered by what Chimera's producers revealed in a leak. During their meeting, he allegedly admitted that he had actually spoken with someone in Erica's circle, not her niece, as was first claimed, but a woman who was connected to her, hand that it wasn't improper that he did so, was about a past business deal that never happened, and that he never sent her any flirtatious or deceptive messages. He said the messages were misconstrued and taken out of context, saying, "I'm not denying contact," but he denied intent. If someone wants to fabricate a story, they can make anything appear guilty when questioned. His response to the question of why he didn't say this on camera right away was, "I didn't want to give Erica any more camera time than she already stole." This partial admission raised concerns for MTV, who were holding a grenade and attempting to determine whether to pull the pin, and a new video that appeared online, grainy, shaky, and obviously recorded without permission, showed a portion of the altercation from a different angle, probably from a crew member's phone. Although the angle wasn't perfect, it captured the moment Erica leaned in and delivered the Yandy screamed in shock after the slap, and the video was promptly reposted, slowed down, and examined by blogs. One headline described the leaked video of Erica Minnie's slap as the most insane moment in Lee Hall history, and another said it was the most unhinged moment in Lee Hall history. The video received over 1 million views in just 12 hours, and MTV was now under pressure from the rest of the cast was being drawn into the storm. Behind the scenes, Rashida, who had initially remained neutral, was reportedly now supporting Yandy. According to a source close to her, "Rashida's been through enough public mess to know when someone I understand why Erica lost it. I'm not saying she was right, but I understand the pressure the cameras were putting on her," she said, adding that other cast members were more divided. Jessica White reportedly told producers during her next confessional shoot. Although Bambi wasn't directly involved, she allegedly said in a group text thread, "Ain't nobody slapping my man, and walking away, Yandy's got every right to flip." Her message was obviously leaked, which fueled the fire. The history with these people is something that builds up. The day after the leaked video went viral, she posted a mysterious reel of herself walking down a hallway in full glitz on Instagram, with the caption, "When the world wants a villain, give them one." The backlash doubled down, and fans flooded the comments with both outrage and praise. The most significant development occurred a few days later when MTV released an internal memo, which was not made public but was leaked to the media within hours, stating that, while the incident was being actively investigated, Erica's participation in the next 2 tapings had been postponed until further notice. Some called her iconic, while others called for her to be permanently removed from the show. It wasn't a complete suspension, but it wasn't business as usual either, until she suddenly showed up on an Instagram Live with Rashida during a laid-back late-night get-together, chatting with fans while sipping wine and listening to background music. The comments erupted with Rashida looked at Yandy almost apprehensively, but Yandy smiled and said, "You know what's wild? People think if you stay silent, you're guilty sometimes. Silence means you've said all you needed to say." Fans took that as confirmation. "What happened, Erica? Did you really hit him? Are you leaving the show?" The blogs used that as fodder, and the story only got more intense. Finally, he broke his silence with a straightforward Instagram post that featured a black and white picture of his hand embracing his kids, and the words, "Protect peace at all costs." Fans naturally interpreted it as sentimental. Behind the scenes, MTV was already modifying future shoot schedules. New call sheets purportedly omitted Erica's name, and there were rumors that Yandy had threatened to walk if she returned, and that her contract gave her the authority to stop filming in specific situations. Others claimed he was playing the victim, but no one agreed. Cases involving physical altercations. Short, hazy videos of the aftermath, showing Yandy pacing Mendeecees and holding his jaw, as well as a producer shouting, "Cut the damn feed," were also purportedly leaked to blogs. However, even as the noise level increased, the questions of whether Erica was truly as cast tensions increased, and the show's premiere date drew near. Viewers knew one thing for sure. Was there any truth to those alleged DNAs? Would MTV really air the slap? Or were they just allowing the online craze to build hype? Most importantly, could Yandy and Mendeecees weather this storm without breaking? The energy surrounding Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had changed from anticipation to obsession as the premiere date drew nearer, and viewers weren't just waiting for drama, they were actively seeking it out. Every post, hint, and blurred-out teaser frame was examined like gospel. Fans who knew exactly what they were sitting on had already made the alleged slap, which may or may not air, a cult. They demanded full context, full footage, and full fallout. And the network's marketing teams started altering promotional materials to place more emphasis on Yandy face in slow pans during confessional close dash-ups. At 2 a.m., the new trailer for Wedding Ring 1 was stealthily published. Fans claimed to have seen a blurred-out figure lunging across a table in one of the 7 seconds of fresh footage in M on a weekday, which was enough to start another viral storm. Meanwhile, Yandy continued to maintain a composed demeanor that only served to heighten the situation. She didn't respond to the blogs or react on social media, but she was attending all planned shoots, participating in all confessionals, and, based on the crew, giving her best on-camera performance to date. However, something had changed in her. A source on set described her as subtly burning. Was professional and focused, but she was colder when her name was mentioned. When asked about Mendeecees, she would merely say, "We're dealing with it." The tone was always flat, and the same couldn't be said for Erica, who was taken off the main filming schedule and spent more time online. Her stories were more chaotic than ever before. One day, there were cryptic quotes about betrayal, and the next day, there were luxury spa photos and happy selfies. Fans were divided. Was she spiraling? Was she planning? Or was she just enjoying the mess she helped create? Things reached a head again during the taping of a group event that Erica was contractually required to attend, a foundation gala hosted by Scrappy and Bambi. The producers had no choice but to let her attend. But they took strict measures, including 2 separate entrances for the glam teams and a strict rule that Erica and Yandy could not speak to each other. However, reality TV never respects boundaries, so when Erica arrived late, tension naturally broke out. The camera crew sensed the energy and immediately positioned themselves as Erica passed by, looking directly at Yandy and saying, "Just loud enough for the camera." Like thunderheads, phones went up, and even the bartenders whispered, "Oh no, not her." Rashida reached for Yandy's hand and whispered, "Don't do it," but Yandy didn't stand, didn't yell, and simply grinned, the same unreadable, flat smile she had been wearing for weeks. "You slapped my husband on camera and you still think you're the victim." Rashida caught the microphone and said, "You still pretending to be the victim? To be the victim?" Erica stopped, looked around, and said, "I exposed your husband, you should be thanking me." There was a swirl of footsteps between them once more, but this time Yandy didn't lose. One owed an apology, she muttered softly, almost as a query, to herself. The entire celebration briefly froze as people stopped mid-conversation. The music slowed, and Mendeecees, who had been standing close to the bar, reportedly stormed towards Erica upon hearing her voice, and yelled, "You don't speak on my family again ever. This is your last warning." Everyone held their breath for a moment, but Erica tilted her head and said, "Funny how you have so much to say now, but not when your messages were lighting up my niece's phone." And there it was, the DMIs, the receipts, the lingering suspicion. Yandy stood slowly, finally, face to face with the woman who you're obsessed. She continued quietly, "You wanted to be me so bad you came after my husband, and when that didn't work, you tried to destroy him." Erica responded, clearly emotional. "Maybe I just got tired of people pretending they're perfect while they're hiding." They had ruined her marriage and her season. Trash under the rug. The cameras continued to roll, and the network later acknowledged that, although there were no physical altercations during the evening, the footage from the gala would undoubtedly be used in a future episode because it was too tense and captivating to ignore. Following the event, Erica left alone. Avoiding the following morning, Yandy finally uploaded a video to her profile. It wasn't a breakdown or a tirade. Rather, it was a simple black and white sit-down video in which she stared straight into the camera. The paparazzi had covered her face with big sunglasses, and Mendeecees and Yandy were walking in unison, hands unheld, perhaps as a subtle symbol of unity under fire. Fans erupted in support. The comment section was overflowing with Team Yandy and he declared, "I've stayed quiet because I wanted to protect my family. But silence doesn't mean weakness, and it definitely doesn't mean guilt." A lot of things were said, many lines were crossed, but I don't respond to noise. Instead, I respond to truth. Some of Erica's former supporters started taking sides, questioning her intentions, and calling her messy for attention. However, as if on cue, Erica posted a final blow. A 5-second Instagram story with a blurry, unverified screenshot of what appeared to be a chain of messages with no name or context. But the one line was clear: "Just don't tell Yandy and the screamed online, blogs reposted podcasts, and people wondered if this was the last nail in the coffin. MTV declined to comment. Producers said they were evaluating, and Mendeecees remained silent. But everyone knew with no more excuses that this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta would be nothing. We're left looking at the remains of what was meant to be just another season, a season that descended into betrayal, public explosions, and a slap that might never be forgotten that began as an awkward dinner scene has turned into the pivotal moment of what they'd ever seen before. Raw, personal, and completely unforgettable. If this is only the beginning of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's upcoming season, we can only speculate as to what will happen next. Will Mena be officially kicked off the show? Are there more DMIs than anyone is acknowledging? What's actually happening behind closed doors between Yandy and Mendeecees now that the world is looking more closely than ever before? We want to know if you think Erica was exposing something real, or if this was all for clout and camera time. Should MTV keep the slap scene in the episode or protect the cast by cutting it? The questions are mounting, the tension is increasing. And one thing is clear: this isn't just reality TV anymore. If you're as engrossed in the mess as we are, please hit the subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss a single twist. Is Yandy right to demand Erica's removal, or is there more to the story she's not telling? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. We're not even prepared for how the season ends if this is how it begins. So until next time, keep your tea hot and your drinks cool. Smack or dark revelation from the Littell universe drama is not at all.